Today, we are so happy to be joined by the 2013 Indy 500 champion, Tony Kanaan. We're going to talk racing. We're going to talk the month of May in Indiana. And we're going to talk so much more. Tony, thanks for joining us today on Good Day Live.
You're welcome, Julie. My pleasure.
You know, I heard you say from time to time that you literally started racing as soon as you could reach the pedal. It has always been your passion, but for the average person out there that sees you now and all your success, Tony, they may not know the struggles that come in the careers of drivers early on. Could you talk about where you've been and getting here now, all the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it?
Sure. I mean, I started racing. I was 8 years old with my dad. It was a passion of his. He actually didn't have the chance to be a race car driver, so he was living his dream through me. Unfortunately, when I was 13 years old, my dad passed, and while he was quite sick for a few years with cancer, so he was battling that, and he made me promise him one day, if he wasn't around, that I was going to win the. Promised him to win the Indy 500 for him. So obviously, losing my dad at 13, I had to, really fight to stay in the game. Racing, it's a very expensive sport. So I had to find a lot of help. I had to live in a race shop. I actually lived in a race shop in Europe for 3 years, slapping a mattress on the floor to be able to afford to race. So then I finally came to America in '96 and was, trying to accomplish my dream and the promise I made my dad. And then in 2013, we're here at the Speedway right now. So this place gave me my lifelong dream and my promise to my dad. So that's the short version of the story, but it's a
good one. No, it's a great one. And you obviously had a strong desire to win that first 500 back in 2013. But I have to ask, is the desire to win the first one stronger than the desire to win it again? What comes now?
It's addicting. Once you win one, you want another one. You become a little greedy, But the good thing about it is, if you don't, you can always go back and say, well, but I already have one. But as a race car driver, growing up watching this race and growing up trying to be part of this race, every year that I have a chance, I'm going to take it. So hopefully, we have a couple more years to go and, maybe one more win. I think it would be good. But if it doesn't happen, I'll be okay with it.
Last year's race was what a thriller when Elio came away with his historic fourth win, but beating a younger driver in the end. And so it makes us ask the question, does experience make a difference in Indianapolis?
100%, Julie. I think, at the end of the day, they can say on and on. But, 47 years old, it's not old. Come on, we can't say that, especially nowadays. And, this place, experience counts a lot, and that's what I'm banking on for for the race in a couple weeks.
I mentioned to you Mark Janes is a good friend of mine, and I know he's that radio voice of the 500. He loves all the drivers. He has such great stories to tell. He reminded me of something Al Jr. said in Victory Lane in '92, and that was, you just don't know what Indy means until you're there. And so I want to know, what does Indy mean to you, and what does being a part of all of this mean?
Well, for me, obviously, like I said before, it was a promise that I made my dad when I was 13 years old. It already meant a lot, and I had actually even hadn't been here. I only had watched the race on TV every year with him, and the years after by myself. And this place is magical. This place becomes, once there is two phases of a driver's career. One's prior to winning the 500, and another one after you win the 500. You become a legend. You become part of a very select group. So I don't take that for granted any day of my life, that I'm a part of a very select group. And what this place had brought me for my personal goals and my career, it's something that I would never forget.
I don't think we'll ever forget the time now that we had to go without people. And now this year is going to be such a big time for everybody in the state of Indiana, but more importantly for everybody in the world, to be back to what we know and love so much about the historic parts of this race. What are you looking forward to most this year? Of course, I know winning would be the biggest answer, but are there other parts of the day that just mean the most to you?
Julia, honestly, let's not talk about just the racing part. I think what I'm really looking for after 2 years struggling with no fans, partial fans, only a little bit of a limited capacity. I'm looking forward to enjoy with them. I want to enjoy every autograph session, every community day, the parades. It's something that I've always enjoyed so much to do. I'm going to dedicate this month to enjoy with my fans, and then on Sunday, when I strap in, I'll worry about the rest.
I love it. Tony, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. We remind our viewers you can watch Tony in action Sunday, May 29th, the Indy 500 scene right here on WTWO. It starts all at 11 a.m. Tony, good luck this year. Wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you very much.